this is going to be another banger, guys. Back to back. We have so many good matches today. M80 versus QoR. We were pretty across the board on M80 if we're being real, Zobi, but QoR have what it takes to take down a super team like this?
And I said this has the potential also to be a super team, right? They talked about it. Kumi noted a dynamic duo that were crazy. Flya, an insane mind who came back after a rough year with QoR and VCT EMEA. Like, they had the makings of a good team. And then I actually watched their corrode and I was flabbergasted. Like, again, there were just so many like micro issues around these good ideas that fell flat. And so to me, I still think there's immense potential. And I think this entire composition shift displays that they are working at it, right? They were playing Sova, Omen, KO before when Alexis was subbing in. They have switched like everything around. And I think to me, that kind of revolves around just cleaning things up, right? The Ashe is more decisive, etc. On the M80 side, I mean, they have one rep on Kuro, but they've changed a lot since the For Those Who Dare off-season event. So let's see what their re-debut of it looks like as well.
Some exchanges, some whispers across the smoke initially. A lot at your disposal with that Astra in the lineup, but man, this Neon has been cornered. Bonnie has been removed, and all the dominoes fall behind M80. Pain will keep the door shut at A. Feels like the sky's the limit, though, for QoR, because of their options left after that.
I don't think there's too many options. We'll see if Heroics lend otherwise, but this is a breath of fresh air. Both teams combating mid on the pistol, right? We started with kind of our first series of the day, NRG exploiting it, not much resistance. For now, though, little fake out from Fly over towards the B side. You almost saw Paint disengage, but has since doubled back. Shearwall should make the contact and let him know he made the right decision.
Yeah, and those options being, you've already recognized where one of the Sentinels are. That's something easy to check when it's a Vise. And wait a minute. Bit of a cross-up, something to note through the A-Link side. And okay, thank God Moose turns around. Doesn't matter, he's on his back now. And QoR have to still get revenge. Note will step up. Alvin adjusts, and the Sheriff just hits harder. Right here. So matters. So, M80 are within the site. The spike has been tapped. QoR got to reestablish, but hey, M80 went for the fight. QoR went for the win.
Yeah, already night and day. Just the levels of preparation, the coordination there. I mean, the stars on, and you have bodyguard action. And for a pistol round, that was a great litmus test already. Even with, again, Paint, what he was able to find on the anchor points. And it's gonna be interesting to see if they can hold on with that off-site space control in future rounds. But like you mentioned, got the job done, got the win. But interesting buy decision. 4 Stingers and then the Headhunters for Kumi. Do we think it's enough?
Toxins going up.
If they can get close enough to Alvin, because that range Stingers just go all over. Oh, nice skin though. Get the M80 bundle? Question mark. Like, you might as well
repping the glyph, the NAVCL graduate.
Okay, QoR. Well, they're trying to sell you a win here. That's all that matters. They got the plan down.
Still on him too.
Just gotta get as much ad time as possible, okay? Because this anti-eco is gonna be done very soon. Especially when Alvin gets traded out. Nothing to be salvaged there as maybe take their angles from front to back. Eric, no info. Flya gonna be revealed. Doesn't even care about shooting the recon. And there's a flash, and Flya disappears in a flash too. QoR left to just kind of huddle down, droning in. M80 going for a sick retake here. They have the numbers. And wait, Paint does work. Bonnie carves their way in. And just like that, Diffuse just barely gotten there by M80.
Ugh. And I said it, I was questioning the Stinger buy-up. I mean, it would have been great if it did work. You have Vandals probably in your third. Well, Nightfall online in conjunction with it. But now, I mean, 1-1, the buy goes to M80. Which I now just made the connection that, you know, Gentlemates is M8, so it's probably the closest they can get to M80, and that's why I like my story better, the camaraderie with fellow VCL players. But all in all, yeah, that round, I feel like I praised the post-fight, how coordinated they were, and then it kind of fell apart in this one where they took ones because they're probably overconfident in the weapon advantage that they had. But we'll see if things stabilize once they get weapons back in hand. For now, it's Nico. We're not expecting too much, but it might be why.
Toxins going up.
Pretty decisive, just trying to challenge Alvin once again.
This is a... Or is this a relatively new team in terms of 2/3 of their team are very young, only been around for a couple years, but you got these veterans. Desk highlighted, Flya and Moose have to take these young guns under their wing. Kumi leads that charge. QoR now dashed their way in, ignoring that snake bite, and Alvin still humbles too. Was anchoring the site beautifully, making space for Bonnie to come in, and okay. There we go, M80 showing their stuff.
And I was going to say this for later, but I feel like that round in particular was a nice example of it. I am so happy that Bonnie and Alvin are back under the same banner. I miss the Burger Boys. And if they're going to have where they use this Neon for him to fast rotate and support this Viper anchoring, that is impressive considering he started A main with the Outlaw and still gets to finish the job with the Bandit. Like, impressive rotation calls, impressive closeout and denial of the eco. Now where do we get back to business? Kumi, operator in hand. First blood found. And this is the round where QoR need to stabilize and looks like M80 might just be tipping the can for them.
Paint could have tried and stabilize here. He's got a flash ready. He's got the Outlaw too. If QoR are not careful. Ooh. GMD, hello! Look at the spawn! You've been infiltrated by the enemy, and the spike is down. This is disastrous for QoR.
I was about to say the bounce back looked great, but now the trampoline springs have been worn out unless Kumi can say relink the system, and GMD's on for the ace. Will can't give it to him. I mean, it's 1v2. You don't want to throw this round after the dismal start to it. They have Spike.
No. Yeah, and a lot of people's eyes are on GMD as this caller for M80, who brought a lot of success to TSM in the past, gets that ace. You know, he'll just have to cut around some of the stalling here, and he'll still get the clip. But I'm looking forward to seeing if he can bring that same TSM success to a team as stacked as M80.
I think that that ace was directed towards Liz and that QoR prediction.
Yeah.
That's Mr. Guimon saying, haha, look at this, watch this. And that was well done. Again, that round fell apart fast for M80, and GMD said, I got it, don't worry.
Yeah, what was this team called? GMD's Kittens or something? That's being disbanded very soon. QoR on a save. That means farming up orbs as best as they can. Fly with a Nightfall. This is a player I'm looking forward to seeing more, because on Split that I watched, feels like the fundamentals were falling through the cracks, but this is a team of mixed experience, so QoR have something to build off of. There's definitely the foundation, but like we've both talked about, there's silly mistakes that shouldn't be happening sometimes.
Agreed. Might be a series of who makes less mistakes, right? Because both of them are newly formed rosters. But again, a balance of veterancy and new talent.
You want to
play, across the board. M80 might have just like... No, yeah, I'd say they're pretty even. But experience can get you anywhere if you can't lock in these rounds. And M80. Mid exploration off this owl drone. Kumi be under pressure here yet again. We're gonna get a paranoia, we're gonna get a outright duo fight, and we might, once the start cover fades.
30 seconds left.
Such a stacked B site. Got Thorns, Viper Wall, Flash. Like, QoR have that Viper's Wall leverage here at A. They're gonna try and work through it. Bonnie just slips past everyone. How does he live? He's going in for round 2. Bonnie is relentless. And maybe you should have a little bit of fear of re-peaking that. QoR of 8 seconds. Maybe that delay is all that matters.
Spike down A.
And it's just not possible anymore.
I would get the plant after the round just to get the ult tour, but the Odin spray from Derek, the shock darts of Plenty will deny even that luxury. As M80 to get up to 4. That round, I mean, I liked the group up, the rotation call. I'll agree. I don't want to say it was questionable just because of how much Yuto was stacked on that B site. But I think that also just displayed the full trust that they had in Bonnie, and also GMD's ability just to pivot and paranoia to get him out of that position. Because again, a Neon doesn't have the luxury of a refract and a gate crash, right? All in all, okay. You can't win this round, Core. Things are gonna get difficult. Cosmic Divide, Nightfall, Viper's Pit, the perfect recipe for success. Let's see it.
At the Recon and the Odin. And a lot of yapping down mid. So Derek has that on lock. See, there's ideas from M80 to push their luck, but GMD is just going to stick around a link. Get the thorns on both sides of the map too, so Bonnie can be bailed out if they want to be aggressive yet again, but it's just with the op. Their smoke will be spotted. Keep in mind, this is Core's second match as a full squad, Alexis being that sub. Smoke has a lot to live up to.
Absolutely. I think a difficulty here is that M80 is giving no opportunities either to this attack side operator for Kumi. Paint so deep in elbow. Getting the off angle instead of the main one. So you're gonna go for a pop of the Nightfall, but there's a stack. There's still util here, and you can deny it. Or section off smoke.
Delay.
Yeah.
That's perfect. Yeah, you've gotten smoke away from the rest of the pack. And there's pings too, fly around the corner. Derek has been huge at giving them all that information. It's even M80 as a squad are now stacked, ready to greet Core if they want to re-hit. They're also waiting to see if Moose can get anything going on his lurk.
That's the difficulty here, is you have Bonnie on the A line. You know you can't hit B. There's 15 seconds left. You know you can't rotate. And Moose just wasn't deep enough into the A line. Even though there was a slight gap that EMD had since remedied. So they just call for the save. I mean, 4 players saving, and the round goes to M80. In terms of having a close half, those odds are slipping, but it's not a terrible situation. If you don't look at the ults that were used, I take it back.
Core, we've talked about how they have really interesting ideas from compositions to executions, but that strat book is still being written. Like we were kind of giggling about the veto on split, and that can be coming around on another map, but they go Core, what I did like about them strength-wise is these unexpected lurks in these places that can be hard to read. So expect the unexpected when facing Core, but so far M80 have really not let them develop in any kind of way.
And it's 5-1. You'd be expecting a timeout, or you mentioned again developing strap up, but they don't have a coach on the side of Core either right now. So that may be another contributing factor, but for the time being, right place, right time once again. Paint is at the center of the action. Deeper wall, deeper thorns this time. Get this reposition information for GMD.
Flash from Paint can allow them to fight in. Paint first to make contact. Already adapting to that new role beautifully. You got GMD that can help assist with the Steel Garden. Kumi's just gonna fight through it. Core a bit lost in the sauce, and now to disengage after that Steel Garden. And Core just kind of like how they played against Evictus. If nothing is given to them, a really hard time to retaliate, find their own advantages.
And I wish Kumi had that rendezvous up for that fight instead of deeper in main. Then it could have been a different story. But for now, I mean, you're still hitting an A site that's now stacked additionally with an Odin. It'd be a major surprise timing that flips the round, but now GMD has repositioned, so they have each other's backs. And
left.
well, there's 30 seconds left. It's
You are divided.
this or fail.
Cosmic Divide, they don't think anyone's within the site, and Core read that wrong. They still will just gun their way through all their problems. And note, in a 1 versus 2, can't even get the spike. Alvin was on watch. M80 just steps ahead of Core's plan.
Yeah, so thorough right now, and honestly, even us being as omniscient as we are, hard to identify a gap. I feel like it's gotta be around this mid space, which since the pistol, we have not seen Core fight for and win. It has been these very passive moose lurks that don't convert into anything, at least super early on, which is something you wanted to see with more of that boldness on the lurks. So I really want to see them abuse that space to some degree right now. Because again, it's fragile in the sense that it's just GMD there, which I can't even say it's just GMD because he's 8-4 right now. But like, if you're facing between an off, a Vice, or a Viper, I'd rather face the Omen, you know?
Just playing chicken with a hail of bullets sounds mad sketch for Core, but it seems like their only option. And if it's not an Odin, it's GMD lurking around a link. Core Finds an angle. Hunter's free from Derek to supplement this lane. Dashing past all the action. Smoke refracts out, and QoR is kind of left to solo push this lane with, there we go. We have QoR pushing through elbow as well. So it was painful, but it works out for QoR.
Yeah, I was thinking my strat wasn't going to work out when GMD got that first kill, but the trades from Smoke were good. The kill on the paint was good as well from Node, and this looks like a pretty done-dusted round from the kill that Fly just round to the Viper's pit on the ground.
Chance for Derek to spam through with the Odin. Oh, and Flya. Oh, wow. That's all their bases covered. And hey, we just needed QoR to show some signs of life, and they definitely have. And just kind of needed to meet that resistance with a hammer.
They went mid. They got the round. Look at that. But as soon as they get around mid, look at the switch up now. I feel like Bonnie is about to like ult down mid, launch a relay bolt. They're okay. Wow, I was setting all it up because he looked ready, and now he's back to A. So apparently GMD didn't like that idea. He's trapped back on A main duty. But all in all, we'll see what the changes look like. Maybe no eye test switch ups, but.
A real response to that Odin, besides trying to find the gaps around it. Kumi offensive. Bonnie has been a really aggressive Neon and punished a lot at times in M80's last match. That was a weakness, but he gives them so much good information.
Yeah.
Now caught by that pop. Something to note for M80.
And once again now, back-to-back rounds. QoR have identified and exploited this mid-elbow gap towards A link, towards A yard. And using this toxic screen as well, and the fact that they did find that Bonnie kill, they can easily get into the site with the convergent pass.
Smoke is just gonna discourage M80 from getting around. We're just giving a big ol' hug to the competition. Kumi caught scoping, caught lacking, but QoR can still pick this up.
Last player standing.
Just the one entry. GMD lurks in the shadows. They don't know he's within the site, but now the jig is up. He's surrounded by QoR. GMD gets ready to fight for his life. Spike tapped, and Flya finishes it off. Okay, QoR back-to-back rounds. Starting to inspire.
Make their fear your weapon.
And this is where M80, we're going to be looking towards an adjustment. I mean, you're up 6-3. I don't think it's necessarily a timeout kind of territory. But again, to me, the logical solution is to fight a little bit deeper for mid control, get a player deposited a little bit deeper in that corner. I mean, GMD is a good candidate for that because he has the from the shadows to get out if he is threatened. But the old online link, the Nightfall. I do think a B-lean's not terrible out of QoR this round. You do have Bonnie this time top mid. They finally listened to his plan of wanting to go mid. That could have helped last round, and there it is, the deposit in the corner. Mid solved. Put a pin in it for now. We'll revisit it later.
Need that back.
It's like it's just going to be a flood through main for QoR with the Nightfall and how you can set up Smoke for success. He needs to be tip of the spear that have more consistency around these openers. And I think we're going to see QoR flourish a lot more with more time together, right? Because this is Smoke's second match, and Kumi again with the first bloods on the op. I'm liking this. QoR, this is suspiciously quiet, still worried about another defender, but M80, they've dodged the Nightfall. What do they do with all this mid space now? Starting to creep towards spawn. Moose has a lot riding on him. Try and put a stop to this. You could have a good cutoff opportunity. No, he's more worried about paint. And now M80 have really started to amp things up noise-wise. Moose gets traded. Flank activated here for M80. QoR turn around to deal with it. Through mid-link is Derek. And yeah, with him falling, this is looking real dire.
I mean, Bonnie broke, Derek broke, GMD broke. This is the logical call to make sure this 6-6 doesn't, sorry, this 6-3 doesn't become a 6-6. And I saw the vision that round. I think you could see just from how uncommitted the B site the defenders were that they were playing retake off of the overdrive, right? Off of possibly info from GMDs from the shadows. But again, what I praised them for prior was not putting themselves in visible or risky sightlines for that operator, for that first blood mentality that you mentioned from Kumi and this operator. And unfortunately, Alvin got found, the delay from that Viper's Wall, and honestly, a really important retake tool are gone. And that was the entire strategy then kind of faltering. So again, having ideas to pick up the pieces, which I think came out of that flank, being sound is going to be M80's next challenge. But again, that's 1 round, 1 kill that goes south. If that's your only issue, not bad. You're still up 6-4.
Kumi can be that clutch guy to depend on. He had like a 4K clutch at the last round of the half on Split, I believe, against Invictus. So he can put up those numbers. It's consistent with the openers. QoR have a chance to climb back into this and already have begun that ascension. Now, with mid, this is going to be challenged by QoR. And with the op in the picture, not a lot of wiggle room for Bonnie. Kumi finds the head of GMD through the wall. Bonnie responds through the smoke and has to amp up, and he does. QoR will dismiss themselves from this fight.
Oh, I want a Bonnie Ren's neon head-to-head after movement like that. But the round's not over yet. Alvin might literally dodges a bullet. They won the mid-fight off of a really nice set play there. You now can see the space backed up a little bit deeper here. With less than a minute left, QoR need a way forward.
Look at information from Derek just to note that, okay, that
Don't
op
overpeak.
is still towards mid. Yeah. Information for himself. Derek does play his life. He's a very survivable initiator. Knows how important he is on those post-plant, or, well, in this case, the retake.
Here we go.
That was... That walk
30
by
seconds
happens. M80 starting to activate. And to keep them at bay is Moose and Kumi. And what a double from Moose and Kumi. Catches Bonnie slipping. Ooh, the comeback is happening,
Last
Zoe.
round in the
Ooh,
half.
that tour de force neutralization was crazy. And honestly, I'm not mad that they used it for 1 kill either, because you have the operator coming in the last round. It was more of a luxury. I mean, the mid fight was good, but we finally got that catastrophic Moose lurk as well. And
That works.
yeah, if Moose wasn't there, I think that's a very easy round also for M80, just retaking onto the B site with that overdrive that they had already popped, but complete interference run. And what were we, 6-2 NRG Academy
2
versus
ops?
EG, and now we're almost 6-6 again.
3 ops?
3 ops? 3 ops. They have tab backup guns. There you go. Note has a whole arsenal. They just switched from a Vandal to a Phantom from the off.
Okay. Jeez, 2 ops is still too many for me, but hey, it's what's gotten QoR those openers. But now, having to play this slow is... I haven't gotten lucky at mid-engagement this time. They are scaling up towards A. M80 looking to meet them. Bonnie quite low. GMD, the buddy system, the friendship stays strong. And Moose tries to delay as much as they can and fight for that space. And it's limiting QoR's options, which is depending on Kumi. Oh, that collide would have been sick.
That was
but
a crazy
he still
try.
won. Yeah. Coming down to a deathmatch. I feel like QoR haven't really planted too often this half.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I was gonna say from too many celebrations to the triple off, it does look like QoR is more like playing loosely just to have fun. But that round, the reclear was nice. The awareness that Moose just slipped into elbow was nice. Moose wins that fight, right? Or both of those, I should say. A side's open, plant goes down. You have at least a 2v2, and yeah, they're putting pressures on individual players to get them these rounds. It's not a great look, but side swaps, I will say, when I watched QoR in week 1 in that Sleeper's Corrode, I liked their defensive ideas and retake systems. It was just, again, some slight util coordination mistimings that would completely undo the execution of those plans. So that's what I'm going to be keeping an eye out on. The calling was good. We'll see if they can follow through.
Yeah, it's an important note because that's when Alexis was playing and
Yeah.
she was on KO, which
KO.
definitely changes how you
And Omen with
approach this
paranoia.
map.
Lots of differences.
Just to go that close to Sleepers, who is a team that's impressing us, showed us that QoR have a lot of potential, still perfecting their approach. Just no getting away from Bonnie. He's on the hunt. You got information within the site. Bonnie, the executioner, falls on his feet. And Alvin breaks open the site. A double. Smoke trying to respond. Alvin is as
player
consistent
standing.
as ever. Kumi can't sneak up and does not want to wait for Moose to get involved. Now 1v3 awaits him, and it's going to be a dead sight when he gets there because M80 are swapping.
Hey, maybe he can have a parting present, a sheriff for the 1v3, but all in all, yeah, it will be a very difficult situation. You'll have your wall for the retake, but that is about it. Snake
30
bite,
seconds left.
situational. Doesn't even
Spike
want the
planted.
sheriffs. The ghost, weapon of choice. We shall see. How many? All right, Lemon, Kiwi, channel your psychic abilities. How many does Moose get?
I don't know. They're so stacked together. I'm gonna give it 2.5.
2.5.
Let the
I
Moose
was
be
going
loose.
to go 1, but because they're stacked, I think I'm gonna go 0, which I usually don't. I usually give them at least 1.
I'm hard coping, but
Don't
I
fight
think
through
maybe
the
Moose,
wall.
maybe 0. But maybe Moose just dies to Spike here, and we're both wrong.
Okay, I said 0.
Oh, okay. I thought like, yeah, maybe he just dies to actually taking a fight. Maybe he just dies to Spike. Someone's gonna take him out. We're both wrong.
We're both wrong. It's 1. This is why I always go for at least 1, and this time I didn't, and I'm sad because GMD had to tuck. No.
He got
Moose.
his 1, okay? Got his 1.
The Moose isn't loose. He's like in a corral, and at least is given his own room to roam. But
Natural
8-5.
selection comes for us all.
They're herbivores too, bro. But 8-5 pistol run. M80 this time. But remember, second round was a stinger force that went catastrophically wrong. You can't even call it a stinger force. Let's just say stinger choice buy for core that went wrong. It's now a more traditional second round buy coming out from M80 who don't want to make the same mistake.
Defensive wall coming down, seeing if Flya can spot anything in mid. He's gonna maybe encounter Bonnie, who's taking some pot shots through the wall using the Marshall after probably spotting Flya's haircut, trying to give him another, but still good information from to work off of.
And this is interesting, and I think really good call from core this round. Do you see this Viper wall that's like very uncharacteristically directly towards elbow? I think that was like an all indicator, like this felt like it was going to be an early A lean. And that's why they started re-clearing elbow, that duo. And then they also had the entire squad rotate over. But M80, when they were stacked in A main, Spidey senses tingling, hair standing, decided elsewhere. Challenge top mid, go towards yard instead. It's still going to be a dangerous feat to break into this A fortress, but we'll see if Bonnie can do it.
Double up, wide swing from Fly, now within the smoke. Oh, close one against Bonnie. Moose gets the finish. Snakebite within the smoke, and Smoke and don't go farming. Wow, an absolute collapse on M80's anti-eco. Thrifty possibility, and core pull it off.
Wow, second round thrifty for second round thrifty. And again, I think that was a brilliant call from core. And then finally the coordination synced up with the plan and the results follow suit. Moose, that snakebite was everything. I mean, the first shot was nice. The trade was nice, but that vulnerability is what allowed that full stop collapse and this multi-kill from Node and Smoke. So there we go. Wow, the right click RNG favors core. 8-6, 2 rounds now separating. Money broken, so it should be 1. They're leading A again on M80 side.
Taking that.
Same wall. A little bit fast paced.
Outlaw from Smoke could do work. Oh, not the kneecap on Bonnie, but the head on Alvin. Node is really showing up too as an ultimate anchor, really building up those walls brick by brick on A.
They saw GMD. 100%.
Oh, it's time to hide away.
Oh, Kumi? I was like, Kumi, you should know he was there. Moose should have calmed down. But while it's around, there it is. Stabilization, 1 round separating. Again, we think core has a high peak if they get their ducks in a row, and right now they are leading them quite well towards the pond.
This looks like a more comfortable map for core, just compared to last week. Don't look like they're floundering as much. Just the teamwork, like a beautiful snake bite from Moose.
What's their pick?
Yeah, and it makes sense. I just thought like time together wise, it would have taken more time for them to find this kind of beat. Or catching up, but it's not over yet.
Fly.
Bring
Again.
them down.
Top mid defender. This time instead of main, smoke outlaw out towards Link. You slip the net off the dark cover. Flyer might just have to give it up. They trust in Kumi and that collateral. It's a full display.
An unfortunate double swing from M80, but you gotta get this up out of Kumi's hands. He is a monster.
Yeah, get the Guardian out of notes.
Delivers on all fronts yet again. Not the first time or the last time Note will get a multi-kill on A. It makes it a flawless 2 for QoR and a tie 8-8 game.
I want to see Note's current KDA real fast. I'm curious. I feel like at least half of these kills have been from the Guardian this half. At least 5. I want to say 6. With the 3K this round, I'm not sure if it was 2 or 3 in the previous. Either way, majority of the kills have been from this this Guardian. But okay, money again,
so
shy.
rich too.
Yeah, 8-8 and no timeouts from M80 is questionable. That's concerning. But this round they have a plan, they have an idea, they have a hope, a dream of stingers into the B site fast. But you mentioned they had to get by the operator and his trademark. And hey, one way to get by is to TP past it.
GMP, it does take a book. Moose checks it, so no flank opportunity. Really diminishing the win condition here for M80, but hey, the flash gets them on the site. Moose hoping to pluck them from it. Can't deny the plan, but is gonna dwindle Derek down to his last hopes and dreams. It's the QoR retake. Any kind of economical damage would be huge here for M80. Derek doing a decent job. He got Moose, but that's the only kill M80 got. So QoR from what, a 1-6 deficit are now leading 9-8.
Wow. Hey, I mean, AG also won map 1 with a similar style comeback. We might be headed towards that similar conclusion, but that round felt like some also unfortunate conclusions to the eco wins that M80 was finding. Like, Bonnie was in a great position. 3 players about to flaunt out of elbow, and then he's out of bullets and has to reload. His position is exposed. But this is the big round, and again, it pains me that we haven't had a timeout just to talk about it, think about it. It might not be your map pick, but it's one you could have won. You're M80 right now. Okay. Hey, man. Challenging Note. Not a terrible idea, but he's gotten many multi-kills.
There just doesn't seem to be a weak site. Like, you're worried about mid or B with that op. Note and Moose have been relentless on A. It's not an easy choice to make for M80, but Bonnie's gonna try and make the space. He's amping up, and there is Smoke getting activated, and Note will enable him. But now Smoke is all on his own, and M80 just death ball in, and it works out.
Yep, that Hunter's Fury perfect for neutralizing what was a really well-timed and well-placed divergent pass from Smoke. That's again why the desk was hyping him up, just impact and kill-wise. And just like that, the save's been called, right? The operator too core to this defense. Moose free to go searching since they're a little bit rich. But I've noticed something, and I don't know if M80's noticed it yet, or if this round they just didn't care. But as soon as they make contact, either A main or think that they've lost mid space, you'll see the players from QoR just back up on the A side, right? Unless it's like an eco versus weapons, and then Note just takes the fight and wins. They're respecting them. Like, they don't want to take the yard. They don't want to take the main fight. They don't want to play disconnected. And I feel like that also is a bit of a change from last week, or sorry, from week 1. So that's become a problem, I'll say, and I think the Hunter's Fury dealt with it quite well on M80's side.
Just that additional layer of QoR, yeah, not saving. They could have challenged that, even though they were rich. But it's also the ult orbs. Like, you have another ult cycle coming up for M80.
Yeah.
Seal Garden, Pit is up. Bonnie could have farmed up to the ult, so I like that save also because of trying to deny some of these ults. You got to make M80 work for it.
100%. Now, similar A side setup, similar mid setup. The difference now is this coordination between Kumi and Moose to get on a little bit deeper of a line. And my expectation is if no contact's made, he might even go a little bit deeper for the time being. Once again, similar to what QoR was able to figure out last half on their attack, M80's realized how weak mid is. And this is the difference. Instead of hunkering down on the site, this duo, Melee and Astra, have grouped up to tuck towards elbow.
And compared to what we've seen before from M80, like, they've really tightened up how they're supporting Bonnie. It's not just solo and doing all these fakes. Like, this is a united team. And look at that bait and switch. Bonnie nopes out. Derek picks up the kills. They plan. It's another day at the office for M80. Gonna be a long day at the office if they don't have these cleaner rounds, because QoR have managed to catch up after M80 putting on a show in that first half until QoR caught up.
This is where QoR are gonna have that same question and need to come up with a solution that M80 solved, right? If you remember, there was that one time where I'm like, I really want to see them challenge this mid space and like deposit a player. I have that same kind of advice, I think, right now for QoR. Because that's now, again, multiple rounds we've seen them just walk up through elbow uncontested. And I do think... I was actually ironically going to say, you might be able to trust in Kumi. Post him with the operator in A-Link, in elbow, right? Like, put him there. Switch the sentinels around. Trust in Moose to anchor the B site. Or have your duelist be the one over towards B. I need to see some sort of reshuffling. And this also goes back to not having a coach, maybe not having the deepest strat book. They had to make that call up on the fly, right? And Flya seems to have made just that. Kumi's over here this time.
Kumi's having to flex around too, because last time they played Corrode, you know, it was with Alexis. Kumi was the one on Waylay, and obviously Smoke wasn't there. So already some adjustments, and Kumi went from being that aggressive Waylay to now being one that stands back, looks for those picks, and is delivering most of the time.
Right here.
Information from Derek, the 2-stack to expect, not knowing what's in this A-Link. Bonnie, okay, don't get collided again, and that's all good. Steel Garden will open up the site. QoR stuck in. Now it's the teamwork that has to bail them out. No flash for Paint to play off of an M80 dip.
Good call. They've gotten a free B site if they can recognize Moose here, and there's fortunate time that Moose didn't trip the sheer wall either, but this is Alvin on the other hand. Thoroughness. His middle name, there it is. Kill found. It would have been eventual crunch anyways, but extra ounce of security here. Flya. Has Odin maybe could provide some covering fire from heaven, see if he gets a lucky shot, but otherwise I really need him to just wait. Han's back online, the teammates are rotating. We'll see what the retake looks like off of this Cosmic Divide.
On could be big here.
Where are you?
Also, Derek will sit in main as that extra layer to swing if QoR start to reveal themselves on the site. Cosmic Divide from No to try and seal off the spike from the pit. And the smoke is on the diffuse. M80 have to respond. They don't know what's happening until it's too late. QoR with a Giga Brain play.
Oh no! I mean, I said it. Play the retake with numbers. Play with the Cosmic Divide. And they have good plans. It was the execution, and the execution right now is crisp. That blade is sharp, and that retake was clean. Both teams now on double digits. M80 finally shaken up enough. The timeout will come fizzling out of the can, and whew. All right. Mid's no longer working. Kumi's on elbow. You went mid to B. It looked good. The post plant fell apart. So what do you do? What do you do?
Question, because that last round was chaotic. Was the spike covered by the pit?
I don't think so. Because I remember Paint pushing out of the pit to fight them in mid hut. So I don't think it was. I think it was more on the link. It was more on B link and backside.
That might be like a mistake there from Alvin, you would think.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think it was a mistake. I think they just thought they were coming through mid for the retake, and instead it was 4 players through elbow and heaven.
Need a drop.
So, either way, I think.
Either way.
Yeah, and then
that was
the start
from QoR, I guess.
Yeah, no, I agree. Beautiful use of the Astral Wall. I think out of this timeout, honestly, they're not doing too much wrong, and that was just a very unfortunate circumstance for M80. I think it's, again, have similar pre-rounds, mid-rounds. It's just that post-plant. How they address it. Do they want to take deep space? Do they want to send Bonnie forward? Because just passively sitting on the site has not worked, Viper spit or not.
Oh. Hang on that, Odin. Good to know. Prowler too, still marking M80 mid. We finally have enough money to like buy an up, to have something to say about this, and Aya gets punished.
This is interesting. Smoke very committed to this A-link position, right? No refract towards Yard, towards A. They have full trust in Kumi to anchor a main. And they shouldn't have this round. That might be what calls for the final A split, but Smoke could complicate everything.
A-link.
Oh.
Good check from GMD. Smoke could have had some crazy timing if M80 kept committing. And if anything, Smoke dying has now inspired M80 to hit the site even harder. Note's got a lot riding on him. And here comes Bonnie dancing on his body here very soon. Note tried to adjust, but man, M80 is celebrating early.
I mean, A for effort, Bonnie, and helping Alvin out with that really. He still got the kill in his defense, but shows again the forward thinking there. I think that was my biggest concern on if that round was going to go and get locked in for M80 was Note going to get another masterful like anchor multi-kill, right? And that util, again, overwhelmed, panicked. And now M80 take the lead back after nice timeout turnaround. Another save from the core side, this time with no operator in Moose's inventory.
Close game though. This has been really entertaining. I think just like experience-wise, like names on paper, and just how last week sort of broke down. Core have really done the work to kind of iron out some of the kinks, I guess, and to make this a really close match against a team we all kind of considered a big super team.
Ooh, number one, timeout now. Interesting. I mean, they have a buy. They'll probably be, but they're not even broke after this. I don't know how Moose has that much money after saving, but I think this is the core we expected to see. I think from the start of the split, right? And it's still early, right? We're only in week 3, but again, I think whether it's sleepers are getting underestimated as sleepers, or if it was again having a sub so people were off roll, this is good. And why? Honestly, when we were coming into the day, I was like, I could see either of these being swept 2-0s. I could see them both being 3 mappers, and again, it's whatever form these teams were in coming into the match today. And right now, whew, blow for blow.
Yeah, Core just have to be careful in mid, because now they're not just like the uber rich team that can just buy ops, 2 ops, and an Odin and whatever they want to just rain down hell on mid. There's M80 buying op, and they even need an Odin actually to punish Flyer. I think it was Flyer in mid, so Core have to be more careful on how they push through A-Link as well, because M80 are not really giving you too many gaps to exploit.
Yeah. Again, they made the defensive switch up we wanted to see for Core. Now, M80 just feel like they're disrespecting that swap up, right? They're challenging outright Kumi, they're challenging outright Smoke, and winning those engagements, so. Will they win them every time? That's the question, right? Kumi now has upgraded, for example, to the Tour de Force. Smoke just got an unfortunate ADS moment. They might not get that luxury again, hence the exploration elsewhere. Flya, not top mid this time, has left a major gap here. Look at where Bonnie is.
Just how Bonnie got there. Yeah, and just how Bonnie got there is such a Bonnie thing. Like, puts walls up, just slides into GMD's smoke. Like, Bonnie won't make that space. Whether he lives after it is up to interpretation. Sometimes he opens up, sometimes not so much. They live and die by the Bonnie, and now could be getting a surprise on Flya while the rest start to leverage up that Viper's wall there from Alvin.
This is nice. I love this fake. You have a deep deposit of Bonnie to catch the rotates if they try to re-clear mid space. Again, the one crux of the issue would be Kumi. And he might just get smoked off Yard from that top of screen you mentioned. Oh, he didn't. He's gone. He got the kill. You go back B? You go back B? You go back B?
After what Bonnie just did, he's leaving corpses behind. Core cuts them off in mid, and that gets the spike down. Wait, the plan has been unraveled.
Oh no. Oh no. A beautiful mid-round call. Yeah, you mentioned falls flat because the spike is lost, dropped, and just like that, Core is back in the game. 11-11. Save the op at least. It should be a fair buy all around to determine who gets to map point first.
Even after Kumi kind of body
That's so
blocked and
unfortunate.
still got that kill, which is kind of funny. But there's been some pretty big heroic plays from QoR. Like Note is stepping up in the biggest of ways.
Yeah.
Fly and check the corner. Definitely not expecting a neon to be inserted there, even though, like you
Who's
mentioned,
pinged it?
QoR gave that up willingly.
They were aware, right? They had Note, for example, watching like the top mid access point to spawn. You had Fly also head on a swivel towards his side of spawn, and Moose was holding this like nasty pixel angle if they actually committed through B link. But when the B main pressure showed that, and like it got smoked off, all of that crumbled. But that aside, different approach from QoR this round and how they're taking this mid space, right? Smoke has yet to push from top mid off of this Odin spray, and Kumi has since swapped back to Link. This issue, though, is that Body just launched his way through A main. And yeah, there's a tray, but the backstab.
Okay.
Ugh. We're still on 3 on 3.
Still hold it down. Nightfall to give some support. And it will dwindle that pressure. Prowler 2. Notice if they're going to swing off that Prowler ping. Hey, let's send in another for good measure. But Note has to maybe respect this push. Play off of Flya. As the Odin, M80 will find a different angle, and QoR are watching this wraparound. Flya will check it at the door, and Paige just walks into his demise. QoR on match point.
Wow.
Match point.
Huge mid adjustment that works out really, really well. And again, I think Note is that level of stability that they needed on the defense, right? Kumi, the op, the first half, perfect. Kumi as well here, the reposition away from the B site, perfect. And I think that, if Flya called that, is what saved this map for QoR. Now, M80 is lost in their last timeout. Again, part of my problem to me as well is I wish M80 took the timeout sooner. Like, probably... when did they take their first timeout? I feel like it was like round 20-ish after that. And then they won 21. Because I think it would have been like, after these 4 rounds is probably what I should have been taken, but...
I just believe that whatever problems that they have are super fixable on the fly, I guess.
I guess. At least they have a buy. Let's get that out of the way. All right. They have Hunter's Fury as well, which has got them out of some tricky situations on the M80 side. The mid splits are no longer working. Note and Kumi are stacked towards A, the current 2 top frags. I think you go for either B main or B split right now for M80. And unfortunately, I mean, they're confident they have the powerhouse names for a reason. They opt to challenge A main head on. They at least get to dodge the bullet of Note, who's repositioned towards B, but Smoke now, I mean, is 1 off the convergent paths and has a refract. This is double danger.
Okay. See how they approach this fight. QoR just gonna take out the drone, and Bonnie slips right into the crosshair. Fantastic patience from Kumi, and not even that, he goes in for seconds, and M80 have nothing going for them. And the shotgun from Kumi should have done more in paint at 31 HP. Glad he's still standing. With not many friends to rejoice with. Derek being main, hoping they could just get the spike, and well, it'd be difficult to re-clear and scale anywhere else, especially with the time given. So dire straits here for M80.
I've painted a little bit more HP maybe, but he will get at least a fair fight. Both at 31 HP, but the wide swing doesn't serve him well. Derek now on a pedestal from the desk, asked to clutch a 1v3. I mean, ping down, sees down, getting surrounded with each passing second. Ability's dropping fast.
You get like a pseudo timeout because you get to just talk about it. Because I'm surprised like Fly didn't want to play off of his own util there.
30 seconds left.
Especially with that decay. Here's no. There we go. 13-11. QoR. I don't even know if you want to call it an upset, but it sure is surprising. What a turnaround after week 1.